What's happening, Metal4Metal universe? We are here for episode 29 of Metal4Metal. Going to be a killer episode of news for you guys tonight. A couple sad, a couple happy, including we just found out Bill Ward has been hospitalized with some heart problems, so he's canceled his tour. We've lost Malcolm Young from AC/DC this week, so we're going to be paying tribute to him and all of our favorite rhythm guitarists, as well as some Lita Ford news with her book regarding Toni Iommi, and some Amon Amarth news. So guys, it's going to be fast and hard, just how you like it, right here on Metal4Metal. What is up, Metal4Metal universe? I'm PJ Steve, and that's Dennis Parker, and we're here to give you a killer episode of Metal4Metal news tonight, guys. Really excited for this. I want to say something about something I've been listening to. That is a band that I discovered recently called Tank. They're a new wave British heavy metal band. They dropped an album in 1982 called The Filth Hounds of Hades. Really good shit, man. Take a look at it. They dropped an album too called Power of... I can't remember it. Power of something. Really good shit though. That's right, Power of the Hunter. I can't find them on Spotify at all. Like not even...
Right, there was Fifth Hounds of Hades.
Filth Hounds of Hades, yeah.
Honor and Blood, Power of the Hunter, and This Means War.
Yeah, This Means War is alright, but you really need to listen to Filth Hounds of Hades. That's the good shit.
Your thing's doing its thing again.
My turntable's been messing up for a couple of weeks here, but I've been trying to fix it, but...
You can do it, baby.
Yeah, you're from 85.
Come on,
But guys, so that's been some killer music I've been listening to. Tank is awesome. I love that new wave British heavy metal shit. What have you been listening to besides Babies Cry?
Besides Babies Crying, which it's getting a little bit better. I'm digging the whole dad thing now. It's really cool. Looking at this, I actually been listening to some Rainbow. I started listening to Death Clock's first album.
Oh yeah, what a great album! Yeah, what a great album.
That led me into listening to some Amon Amarth, and which they're actually going to be.
They're going to be in the news today. Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of a lot of the same. Kind of been leading into some Decapitated and some other things, but it's a lot of the same for me.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. You mentioned you were listening to some Suffocation as well.
Yes, Suffocation. Yeah, that was a great band that I started listening to a long time ago, and just when you've been listening from metal to metal for so long, you kind of start forgetting some of the stuff you listened to a long time ago, and then it starts coming back to you. So Suffocation, one of those bands I listened to like 10 years ago, and they just kind of fell off my radar, and I've kind of rediscovered them lately, and it's been really great.
I also re-listened to Injustice for All the other day because I've been watching the new Punisher show. Very nice. And the trailer had one on there, and we covered that. But so I re-listened to Injustice for All. I forgot how great To Live As a Die is.
Yeah. What do you think of the new Punisher show? You like it?
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm really digging it. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And on Marvel, I saw the new Thor movie. I thought that was
great. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And today I watched the new Justice League movie, and it was okay.
Yeah. Because it's just DC, and they'll never be Marvel.
Yeah, because they ripped me off with Batman vs Superman. They ripped me off with Suicide Squad, and they ripped me off with Man of Steel. So I wasn't about to let them take my money again.
Oh, they're going to take your money.
Well, I bootlegged it. So
okay.
Right, so I watched Justice League just at my house, and I wouldn't have been too disappointed if I paid for it. It was definitely the best one since Wonder Woman.
Well, guys, we don't want you to be disappointed in something that you're not going to pay for, so we're going to get right into the news right here, starting with some Bill Ward news.
All right, so we got Day of Errors. The three-piece band, led by original Black Sabbath drummer Bill Ward, has canceled his previous announced West Coast tour, which was scheduled to take place in early December. Ward said in a statement, "I wound up in the hospital this past weekend with heart problems. I'm okay and in good recovery at this time. However, I've never experienced this particular type of heart problem before, and due to its nature, I've made the decision to cancel the dates." So I could understand that's kind of scary,
Yeah, it is.
Your first heart attack, especially being at that age.
Yeah, most definitely.
Having a heart problem like that would probably scare the shit out of me. So he's probably doing the right thing. Stay in bed, watch some cartoons. And
don't go on tour.
Yeah, do not go on tour where it's stressful.
I would hate to lose Bill Ward. He's a hell of a drummer.
Horrible. So stay in bed, Bill. We understand. It's okay.
For real. I don't know if you've ever heard Days of Errors. They're not that great.
I've not heard them at all.
They're not that great, but it's still metal, and it's still really cool. And it's still it's cool to see Bill Ward still trying to tour and all that noise. You gotta love it.
It's just cool being at that age, still just making music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's not that great, I'm sure that if I listened to it, it would have to be better than 90% of the shit that's out today.
It's a good point. Yeah.
It must be. I mean, I don't know that. I haven't listened to it, but
it probably is.
I would imagine it is. All right, moving on to the next piece of news. Amon Amarth launched a new Viking mobile video game in 80s retro style. I was checking out the trailer for this. This just came out about a week ago, but this is only in Android and iOS games, so only for Android and iPhone. And it drops. I believe it's at $8.99. This comes out
See,
at.
that's a $9 game for a phone.
For a phone.
Friend.
Now you got to think about this. Now, Nintendo last year, or maybe it was early this year, they released Mario Run.
Right,
which was their first, entry into the mobile phones game, because until then Mario has always just been on a Nintendo platform, right? They charged $10 for that game. Now Mario is the most iconic, most sold video game ever, other than like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Nobody would pay $10 for it. So,
I wouldn't have, not for a phone game.
Well, I did, and it's actually a pretty good game. It's actually pretty good, and I paid $10 because it's for Mario.
You would buy a $15 Metallica game for your phone.
I probably would. They actually, there was a Metallica game in development. It was like, it had a bunch of tanks and stuff in it, and it never actually saw the light of the day. It was like a PC game, so nobody would have played it anyway. Haha. But
I played Ed the Hunter.
Did you? Yeah, and that was horrible. And that was horrible, wasn't it?
I didn't have fun with it.
Yeah, it was horrible. So, but I mean, actually, I actually tried to look up a review for this game, and there was none. There's no reviews for this
Metal4Metal
game.
could be the first one to review this video.
We were thinking about it.
Maybe I'll pitch in the $9 to get it.
You want to pitch in I'll pitch in like $4.50 or something. You pitch in $4.50.
We'll try and make that work.
And then we'll be the first people on the internet to review this game. I mean, it looked okay. There was like 4 levels, or there's you kind of, what I really did like about it was it had like an 8-bit version, like an old school Nintendo of like their songs, like Satura Rising and all that shit. And
that would be interesting.
And it sounded kind of cool, but there's only like 12 levels, 4 stages in the game and shit. You're
really talking down that $9 now.
Yeah, I'm really not sure if this is going to be worth $8.99, and even if it is, I don't know who the hell is ever actually going to play it, because if Mario didn't stand a chance, I don't know if Amon Amarth does.
Well, Metal over Mario, though.
Right. All right, we're moving in to our next piece of news. Lita Ford doesn't regret including Toni Iommi abuse accusations in her book.
We got 2 members of Sabbath.
Right, because of course now Toni Iommi joins the list of people, along with Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Al Franken, and a million other people who have been accused of sexual harassment. But it's Lita Ford says...
It's the trend.
Yeah, right? So,
actually, we just, right before we started filming the show, Gene Simmons has been accused by 2 women.
Right, you were mentioning that, and we didn't even really look into it.
Well, we were just about to start recording.
Yeah.
I guess Christine 16 was really just a love song, yeah.
Man, I don't even know what to say about this anymore. I mean, she's saying the female rocker opened up about her crazy romance with a Black Sabbath guitarist in Living Like a Runway, a memoir, in which she accuses Iommi of attacking her on at least 2 occasions as she battled severe drug addiction. And it goes into, there was a time where Toni Iommi was like just huge into drugs. She said she was doing coke and all this other shit. And they were on a plane. They're going like a 5-hour trip, and he did not want her to like even drink a drop of alcohol, even though she said at the same time he's like snorting all this coke and shit. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say, because it feels like if we don't take the women's side, we're just like a huge sexist.
We're just pigs.
We're just pigs if we don't just automatically believe what they say. But at the same time, I'm just like, is there a little bit of evidence with this? Because, at least like with Louis C.K., he came out and he's like, he admitted he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Toni Iommi has not admitted anything that I know of.
Well,
if you can point me to an article where
you've read his book, right?
I'm about halfway done with his book.
Has he mentioned?
No, he has not mentioned Lita Ford in his book.
Let me tell you something. I've been looking up articles about this. I couldn't find anything that Toni Iommi has. Not that he's saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying
I can't find anything one way or the other. It's just her just saying like, yeah, he did it.
Let's face it. Most of our heroes are bad people. It's just the way it's going to be.
Well, they say don't ever meet your heroes because they're just horrible people.
Well, a lot of people gave me shit the other day because I mentioned that Jimmy Page raped a 14-year-old girl. That's just the way it is. He picked a girl out from the crowd and married her and slept with her, and If you're not under 18, you cannot give consent, which is rape. I mean, it doesn't matter what time period it is. Doesn't matter where it is. Like, that's just the way. Do you not agree?
I agree. Unless you're in, like, Afghanistan or something, where I think you can marry a 4-year-old cow or something.
Right, but, I'm talking about, like, no matter what, like, even in the 20s, the 30s, it doesn't matter. It's rape. It's when you're not 18, you can't give consent. Rape.
Right.
I watched a lot of To Catch a Predator. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But
just have a seat, PJ.
Have a seat.
Just have a seat.
No, I'm serious though. Like, we some people defend these people and they shouldn't be defended. It's wrong.
Yeah, man, because I don't really want to defend him, and at the same way, I don't really want to deny Lita Ford.
We're ignorant about it. We're ignorant because we can't find an article.
Right. I mean, there's really no. I mean, it never went to trial. We have no way of saying, who was right or who was wrong with it. So, I find myself kind of in this predicament where I'm like, do I want to defend one of my heroes or do I want to give this lady the benefit of the doubt? It's the same thing that we're going through with the decapitated trial. Right. It's a very sketchy thing. I mean, really, just keep your fucking mouth shut until the end.
Exactly.
I mean,
though, if men are trash, then women are raccoons. So let's move on from that.
Well said. Okay, Charles Manson, insane letter to Marilyn Manson.
Oh, yeah, for all those who don't know, Charles Manson died.
Yeah, he passed away
Sunday night.
Yeah, it was yesterday, right?
When he was 83.
Yeah.
And, I mean, myself, I'm fascinated with the idea that a man can control beings to go take another life.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, well, what about guys like Jim Jones? Who my good friend Jefferson Coker mentioned. Jim Jones made 100 people kill themselves. Again, living is hard, dying is easy. Charles Manson said something like that. I can't remember the exact quote. However,
he said a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's easy to kill yourself. But to take another life, to me, that's a whole other extreme. To take another life and live with it is a whole other extreme. So to get someone to do that is insane to me, and I'm fascinated with the idea that someone is that evil to be able to do that. But continue. Yeah,
well, I mean, Charles Manson and Marilyn Monroe were two figures from the 60s that Marilyn Manson took his inspiration from when, creating his name.
Yes, sir.
So Charles Manson knew that, and in 2012 he wrote Marilyn Manson a letter. And I don't want to read the whole thing because it's insane.
We are not going to read the whole letter, but please read.
Okay, there was a certain part. It was like the last couple sentences in it that you wanted me to read because you just thought, because it's so crazy, it's so out there, and it's not going to make any sense.
It's not going to make any sense, but you
I'm
can look up this letter for yourself.
I'll have it posted, in the link below, so you can read the whole thing yourself.
Well, check out the actual writing of the letter. It looks like it's written by a 5-year-old.
There's an image of the actual letter, and it does it's completely almost illegible. You just cannot read it. Okay, anyway, the last couple sentences is cooped coop. Ghost dancers slay together, and you're just my grave sunstroker. Corona, coronas, corone. You seen me from under with it, all standing on me. That's 2 dump trucks doing the same as CMF 00007. Charles Manson postcard, August 2012. What? What is this guy talking about?
I think it has some sort. I'm giving him too much credit. I was gonna say maybe he has some sort of message, but I think I'm giving him too much credit. I think the guy's just insane. He's nuts. And it's all an act, and he's just an idiot.
There's some kind of thing here. It's like there's an airs, trees, water, animals, and all the way of life is some kind of thing that I guess
is a non-profit thing.
Whatever, and he just kind of wanted Marilyn Manson to give money to it because he felt that Manson had made it famous because he's using Charles Manson's name or something. But whatever, you're fucking crazy, dude. I mean, Manson would have been famous even without the name.
Yeah.
If he had chosen another name, I don't really
Can you imagine reading that and just
Yeah, do you think Manson was scared? When he got this postcard in the mail and he saw that it was, authentically from Charles Manson and he read this, if he could even read it, if he could even make it out, would you just be scared?
He probably thought it was a prank. I would have thought it was a prank.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And then you find out it's the real guy and you're just well, I'm glad I have security.
Yeah, really. They don't stop things from falling on me on stage, though, but they sure will stop Charles Manson.
Alright, so our biggest piece of news tonight is Malcolm Young, guitarist and co-founder of the legendary Australian hard rock band AC/DC. has died at the age of 64. He has been suffering from dementia for at least the past 3 years. Malcolm died peacefully on Saturday with his family by his bedside. So that sucks. If I'm not mistaken, he was on just about every AC/DC album except for their last one that was in 2014.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the last one was. It wasn't Rock and Roll
Black
Shrimp.
Ice.
It wasn't Black Ice. There was one after that, actually. I believe that was in 2014. I believe I can't remember what it was called. I can look it up here.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was because I actually wasn't really a big fan of that one. But other than that, he's been on every AC/DC album that I can think of.
Yeah.
I believe he was like the original founder. So this
he is one of the brothers.
Yeah, so this is a big loss. And their nephew, Stevie Young, he actually replaced Malcolm Young a couple of years ago on tour.
Yeah.
But this is pretty shitty news.
I mean, as far as rhythm guitars goes, Malcolm Young was one of the best. And there are certain spots in AC/DC songs that you have to appreciate the rhythm section, and that is, Malcolm Young. And I mean, it's just it sucks that he's gone, and so young too, 64.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty young these days to be going out.
But it's
especially from suffering from dementia,
Rock or Bust. That's the name of the album.
Rock or Bust.
I forgot.
Okay.
So when you're looking at guys like Malcolm Young, I mean, rhythm guitar, very important piece of the band that everyone kind of tends to overlook, because a lead guitar always gets the glory. But Malcolm Young was, I think, the backbone of AC/DC. I mean, those first couple albums, High Voltage, and of course, Let There Be Rock, which is my favorite record.
Mine too.
But even on things like Highway to Hell and Back in Black, I mean, those rhythm sections is what builds a song and what makes the song go. I mean,
you got to think with AC/DC. I mean, they are just iconic for just their catchy, simplistic guitar riffs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody loves them.
And everyone's like, "Oh, it's only 3 chords." Yeah, but
there's some fucking awesome ways to structure.
Awesome 3 chords.
Ways to structure those 3 chords. Did you? Well, if it's so easy, why didn't you do it?
Why didn't you do
it?
Either way, I love AC/DC. I've always loved AC/DC. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that don't like AC/DC.
Everybody does.
I'm a Bon Scott guy at heart. I really love them. They're different. They were different for that time, I think, and they were doing shit that a lot of people were not doing. And you gotta love them. AC/DC all the way, man.
All the way, man.
Malcolm Young, we're totally gonna miss your ass.
Yeah.
Malcolm Young's death does bring us to our topic of the week, though, and that is our favorite rhythm guitarist. So, Dennis, what you got? I already know the answer.
Off the top of my head, I got to thank James Hetfield from Metallica and John Schaefer, just because he's so egotistical. I feel like he would sue us if I didn't bring him up in this, because we are using Ageless Holocaust as our intro.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to.
John Schaefer. I do love John Schaefer's rhythm guitars.
I do too. I think he's awesome. And with James Hetfield, I mean, he is a crazy rhythm guitarist, I mean, just look at Master Puppets and Justice for All.
Yeah.
I mean, as we're talking about just simplistic AC/DC kind of guitar riffs, look at the Black Album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, James Hetfield would be up there as one.
Yeah, 120 albums sold.
Top 5 rhythm guitarists. Most.
And
definitely.
John Schaefer, I mean, maybe that's probably just one of my. That's a personal opinion of mine, because you can kind of say that a lot of his songs do sound the same. But in my opinion, that is just kind of having a style, because he is just kind of really popular.
I think he's great at rhythm guitar.
It's just like a lot of people just say, he's mainly the triplets kind of guy, like dun, 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 dun. That's just kind of his thing, but that's just his style, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think when you look back on Night of the Storm Rider and Burn Offerings, those are Something Wicked This Way Comes. Those are classic metal albums.
Most definitely.
And I super enjoy it, and I think he's just a really fucking cool guy. And so I'm gonna go with those 2. What about you?
I will say Malcolm Young, not only because he's dead, but I think he is one of the greatest rhythm guitarists ever, bar none. And he, when I think rhythm guitar, I do think of him because of the iconic riffs that we've gotten in AC/DC. Highway to Hell. I can go all day.
Back in Black. My God, I mean, the whole Back in Black album is just one giant classic album. You know what I mean? Like,
it's almost like a greatest hits.
Yeah, their whole like.
That's how I feel about Highway to Hell, though, too. You know.
Yeah, every song on those albums has like been on the radio. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
My other one, I'd have to say, another one that comes to my head is Scott Ian from Anthrax. Scott Ian's a hell, and you know he goes to lead sometimes, but mostly he's a rhythm guy. He has said that before, and I think that him and Charlie have a way of creating sound over everybody else, especially during songs like "Got the Time" and "Medusa," and even their newest record. But even with like all Kings, like that, their newest record with "Breathing Lightning" on there, like that's really killer. So that comes to mind, as well as Scotty, and of course you said John Shaver comes to mind. Another rhythm guitarist that I think comes to mind, I'd have to say, like from Diamond Head, Brian Tatler, who did lead rhythm and vocals, but Brian Tatler's a hell of a underrated guitarist. And him and Duncan Scott, who was the drummer at the time for Black Sabbath, but for Diamond Head, and like when they formed in '76. But Duncan Scott and Brian Tatler had this way of also creating that same chemistry for the rest of the band, and I think that's very important for the rhythm guitars. Yeah, really good shit, man. And like, I still love that album, Lightning to the Nations, man. Like Diamond Head, they should have made it.
Yeah, they really should have.
They should have made it.
Maybe through Metallica they have.
Whatever.
Do you think a lot of people would even know who Diamond Head are without Metallica?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I actually don't even think a lot of people would know who the fuck the Misfits are without Metallica.
Wrong. That's wrong. That's.
I think. I'm not everyone, but I think that
like
Metallica,
a few people.
I think Metallica helped extend them, put them out in the.
Do you think the same thing for Lynyrd Skynyrd?
No, not Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Okay,
that song sucks.
What about Motorhead?
Yeah.
No.
For some people.
Wrong.
I think for some people.
I could say things like for like Sweet Savage because they did Killing Time. And then
well, yeah, I think a lot of Metallica fans are just very, they're just kind of in the mainstream, and then they got Garage Inc. and they're like, who the fuck wrote this stuff?
Well, it's funny because my good friend Jason Dalter, when he first got Garage Inc., he was like, I thought that was he thought the Am I Evil and It's Electric. Yeah. He thought those were Metallica songs.
A lot. I knew a couple people I used to work with that, with the Merciful Fate medley.
Yeah.
They thought that was a Metallica song. Well, I know, dude. That's actually from a band called Merciful Fate, and that's like 4 or 5 different songs, like cut into one.
all cut up.
Yeah, cut into one. It's a medley, and they were just like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a thing."
Now, what's a medley?
Even like Sabracadabra, they had no idea that was like a Black Sabbath song. They had no idea. Like so.
I didn't like that cover either, so that's. I don't know. It's just weird. I just love the...
To each their own.
The regular version. Yeah. We did discover today that Black Sabbath is the greatest heavy metal band that's ever lived. Spawning over...
we add up all their money?
$800 million over $550 million.
Yeah, Metallica was at 550. So that's fine. I'm totally cool with conceding it to Black Sabbath.
Very good.
That's cool with me.
Well, guys, what a great episode we've had, man. I love these episodes every single time. I appreciate everyone's support of Metal4Metal. Thank you guys so much for keeping us going. And we are here for you guys. Whether we get 1 view or 2 views, we're going to keep doing this and keep kicking ass. We love it so much, and we love fucking heavy metal.
It's true.
I mean, hard fucking heavy metal. I mean, I like to take heavy metal on it. Sorry. Anyway, I'm PJ Stevens. That's Dennis Parker, and we are Metal4Metal. We're here to give you the best fucking content we can give you ever. And we will see you guys next week for a great episode of Metal4Metal. Thank you guys so much. I don't know when to stop.